Hey guys, welcome back for another thought for the day. So today we are on part 4 of O.I.L from The Last Dance, and we are going to be talking about teams. So in our life, in our journey, we are all a part of teams. We may be a part of multiple teams, and those teams can be our family, it can be our church home, it can be our work home, it can be our book club, it can be our girlfriends, it can be because you are a Christian, you are a part of the Christian team, right? But no matter what it is, we need to really take stock of us being a part of that team and what that team looks like. And one of the things that stuck out for me while watching The Last Dance was a comment by Jerry Krause when he said, organizations win titles, not players. And so that statement really honed in for me because we can have an assignment, we can have an identity, we can be very clear about what our mentality is and have a strong mentality. But no matter what that is, we're a part of a team. And the players on that team, from front to back, play a role in our winning in life. So you can have a mentality for winning, but if your team is not about winning, if the structure of your team is not set up for that, then it's not going to happen. And we also have to remember that our team focus can't simply be on just one person because it can be detrimental and can cause a lot of harm and damage to the team. And that was clear at the beginning of Jordan's career with the Detroit Pistons and the Jordan rule, right? So they were very clear that go for Jordan, put him on the ground, that if you control Jordan, then you control the game and you control the win. So we got to be clear about, are we understanding, one, not to put too much pressure on one part of our team, that we want to make sure that it is given and freely given to every single player. And we see that made clear with Phil Jackson when he comes on to coach, and his understanding of taking it off of Michael Jordan and putting the focus on the team and reshaping and reshaping some of the plays and making them about passing the ball around, right? Like the ball couldn't consistently be in Jordan's hand. And how that led to a win, right? Because when Steve Kerr had the ball in that championship game, he was able to shoot it and win, right? So sometimes even though our assignment is to do something, we need to be clear about the team. How can our team support us in getting and completing our assignments? And also be mindful to treat our team well, right? So what happened with Phil Jackson at the end, this whole dismissal of him after you had groomed him, after you had poured into him to be a great coach, and he'd won championship after championship for the team, the dismissal of him in a very nasty way, or to make a statement that would lead to a dismissal of like, nope, we don't want you back. We have to honor our team. And even with Scottie Pippen, with his like the not paying him his worth and then thinking that he would still want to be a part of the team, we mistreated him. Or not we, but the Chicago Bulls mistreated him. And even Michael Jordan, right? Like in that bullying, there is the reflection of us, of some of the concern about a book that came out that could have been the result of the mistreatment of a team. So we do want to be mindful of how we treat our teams. And this concept of team is held up in the biblical light when you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 12. In that chapter, it deals with the concept of body. So team and body are synonymous in this, that we need to be clear that team is body and body is team. And so I want to hold up some verses from 1 Corinthians chapter 12. And so I want to first hold up verse 18. And I'm reading the New Living Translation of these verses. And so verse 18 says, but our bodies have many parts, and God has put each part just where he wants it. So we have to be clear that there are many different pieces to a team, or many different pieces to a body. And in knowing that, we, one, have to be clear about why a person is there or why something is the way it is and their role, and being able to navigate and use that for our benefit, right? So Dennis Rodman was a defender. you put him on the floor to defend, and so when he acts is crazy and he wants, a break, it is to know that he needs that because he needs to be able to be great for the team. So us understanding the parts of our body. But then verse 22 says, in fact, some parts of the body that seem weak and least important are actually the most necessary. So we can hold up Jerry Krause in this moment for that verse, because in that, Jerry Krause is seen as this little man with this little man complex. But if we are honest, the Chicago Bulls would not have probably been the Chicago Bulls had it not been for Jerry Krause. He was the general manager. He built that team. He made the sells and the wins behind the scenes for the team. Like, he got players. So what Michael Jordan needed to win, that was a part of Jerry Krause. So we can't think of ourselves too highly or not really honor what we would deem not important members. And I think this is even seen in what we are dealing with now in COVID, and with the issues of with the Black community and with our people of color communities, is that we are not honoring who we quote unquote deem to be less. And no, that is not to say that they are less, but there has been this piece placed on that they are, that we are. And so there is the understanding of this, that you don't take care of the baby, it's going to cry and it's going whatever. So I don't even want to go there. But then verse 26 says, if one part suffers, all the parts suffers with it. And if one part is honored, all the parts are made glad. Again, so in this, we really need to honor and respect our team. We need to honor and respect the body, because when we don't take care of it, it can't take care of us, right? So when you don't take care of any part of your team, whatever this is, if we're making it about race, if you don't take care of the Black community, there is no culture. There is no hip hop. There is nothing for you to cipher off of, right? Boom. Hard comment. But there is the importance of needing to take care of the body, and knowing that when the body is made glad, what does that mean for the bigger, right? So how many times have we taken care of those that we deem small in nature, and the larger implication of that? Or let's take it away from this and actually consider our body. If you take care of your nails, right? The ability for you to be able to move and to do stuff, right? So like, if you have a hangnail, how much does your hand suffer? And if you take care of that, your ability to do and to move, and that's just a hangnail, something small, something tiny, that small piece of suffering affects your ability to completely move, right? So there are some questions that we should ask ourselves. The first being, what part of the body am I? You need to know your role in the body and how you are a part of this body. You need to know, am I honoring the body or myself, right? Because there is the deeper part of this, is that to move forward, the body has to move forward. This can't be about you. You won't move forward if the body's not moving forward. So take care of the body, or take care of the team, and there'll be a consistent movement forward. Then there is, do I feel honored in this body, right? So we have to be mindful of, is the body taking care of me? And what care do I need to be a part of this body? So there are things that we need for our body to do to make sure that we're cared for and that we're well. For example, I ate pretty much a whole box of donuts and ended up having a migraine behind it because I went through a sugar rush, right? I did not care for my body. So in turn, how do I care for my body? So we need to just be mindful of those things, reflect on those things, and really remember that even though we have our mentality in check, even though we have our identity in check, even though we know what our assignment is, we have to remember that we are a part of the body.